Right now, though, a new youth zone has just been granted planning permission for South Bristol. The national charity OnSide submitted a planning application, while local organisation Youth Moves will operate the facility in Hartcliffe once it has been completed. While construction costs will be covered by funds secured by Bristol City Council and the Department for Culture, Media and Sports Youth Investment Fund, the site of the build is close to the roundabout that connects Hengrove Way and Hartcliffe Way, and it's expected to open in a couple of years by 2025. Now, stakeholders believe that 4,000 young people will, from the area, sign up within the first year of the centre opening. To tell us a bit more about it, the CEO of Youth Moves is Alistair Dale. Now, Alistair, tell us a bit more about the significance of this youth zone for the area in Hartcliffe.
Okay, Adam, welcome. First of all, it's not actually in Hartcliffe itself. We're actually just off the Hengrove roundabout, right at the start of the four wards there. But the difference is, I think people understand youth clubs, maybe when you've seen it on the telly, it's something quite small. It's got maybe a pool table or something in it. A youth zone is something that we're talking about, a leisure centre or a secondary school-sized youth club. So this is sort of a youth club or a different level. So these are very big buildings whereby a young person gets amazing opportunities by walking through the door.
So this is sort of a super youth club by the sound of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. So at the moment we work with about 1,000 young people a year as Youth Moves. That you said we're looking to do that 7 days a week, 52 weeks of the year. We're looking to get 4,000 or 5,000 members in the first year, regular visits of 1,000, 1,200 young people every week. And all these opportunities, once they walk through the door, this is the joy of a youth zone. It's a super youth club, as you said.
What sort of things will be happening there? Because you mentioned about having all these thousands of people come to visit every year, but what exactly will be on offer at the centre?
Yeah. So basically, as you walk through the door, there's a range of offers, but everything from a climbing wall, a sports hall facility, a music recording studio, podcast. There's a training kitchen. There's a health and wellbeing room. Obviously, we know all the challenges around wellbeing and young people and mental health, all those sorts of things. There's a film and recording studio. There's just a boxing ring, a gymnastics centre. It's literally everything you could expect. So, young person walk through the door with a particular interest, and you know where you want to go. You can go straight to that room. Young person who's thinking, I'd just like to try something. You can access all those different opportunities and then take your passion a bit further whilst talking to an amazing youth worker.
And that's the key thing, isn't it? As well as having all these amazing opportunities and activities on offer, there's going to be some brilliant youth workers there as well who can help facilitate things for young people, because quite often they're safe spaces for young people to talk to people about things that are going on in their lives too.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, the building itself is a means to an end. You know, we've been working in the community for over 20 years. We have loads of young people who want to be youth workers, young people who have become youth workers, and staff who work or have got qualifications. But it's that youth worker experience, somebody to talk to the young people, someone to help guide them through all the challenges. We know what it's like growing up, and so those youth workers are there, someone to listen to, someone to talk to, safe space, somewhere where they feel comfortable and where they can open up, and we can then help navigate that period in their life.
Who exactly is this facility going to be aimed at then, Alistair? What sort of people will be able to come and use this new centre?
So this is one of the joys. The youth centre is completely open to anyone aged 8 to 19 or up to the age of 25 if they have an additional need. And it will just be certain nights will be for certain age groups. So, you know, we haven't yet defined exactly what that programme looks like to tell you, it'll be this night and this age group. But yeah, it's that age, and we'll be open every evening after schools are closed, every weekend, and so people can access those facilities.
Yeah, 8 years old to 19 years old or up to 25, as you mentioned. Quite a great amount of people that will be able to come and access some of the facilities there. It sounds fantastic. And of course, that programme that you mentioned, that'll come closer to the time nearer to opening. People will be able to find out more about that, no doubt. But This all sounds like it's going to cost a lot of money to make this happen, with climbing walls, recording studios, podcast studios, all the different activities that you'll be able to run there. How have you raised the funds to put this all into motion?
Yeah, well, this is a youth zone is a three-way partnership between the local authority, Bristol City Council, between OnSide, who help to build these things, and Youth Moves, and then the business and private sector. So there's an investment that comes from Bristol City Council. We're lucky that at the moment the government nationally has decided, as you said at the top of the piece, the Department for Culture, Media and Sport is putting in some money. So we've raised all of the capital to do the building now, and we're engaging with a business and philanthropic network within Bristol to raise the rest of the money to keep the cost, to run the building, matching Bristol City Council funding and other grants that we will get in.
And going forward then, what sort of input will the local council in Bristol City Council have into the youth zone? Because these things, once they're up and running, still take a lot of money to keep going, keep funded, keep running with, running costs, heating costs, youth worker costs, the activities and trips and things like that all cost money. What involvement will the council have going forward?
So the council have committed to 3 years of £400,000 a year, and that's their investment into to us at the start, and then we'll be looking to meet outcomes for them and do loads of things to work with them. But then they'll also have a member of Bristol City Council that would sit or come to our board to input, but we'll be working across multiple departments. So I was in a meeting today with the Bristol Youth Work Network, and we were talking to Abby Bargo, the Director of Children's Services, and she's saying really linking up with education, healthcare, social care, all those different departments within Bristol and meeting the needs for children and young people. We're there as a facility and as a support service to really help that to happen in that community.
And it's really important. In a former life, Alistair, I was a youth worker in a previous job, and was a youth worker when there were times when lots of cuts were happening to youth service, both in the charity sector and in the statutory sector as well. So I know just how important funding and to have that secure 3-year plan from the council is going to be for you guys going forward. You also must be preparing for a recruitment drive as well, because there'll be plenty of people needed to help make this happen, both in terms of the build, the youth workers, all that sort of stuff. What sort of positions are you looking to fill over the coming years?
Yeah, so, the building work is out to contractor to tender at the moment, and then obviously once the building is built, we'll be filling posts, everything from youth workers or people who would like to get involved in youth work. There are opportunities currently to train within the city for youth work, so people, if they're interested, can get that. But it would be anything from working in a gym, working in the catering kitchen, working on reception, doing finance, doing fundraising, working in the gym, in the music studio, doing the sports sessions, working on the climbing wall. So, the opportunities are huge and vast. And I think we currently have about 25 in our team, and we'll be looking at about 75 by the time we open, with loads of volunteering opportunities as well. So, yeah, huge number of opportunities coming down the line, Adam.
It sounds like it's going to be a real hub for the community. As you mentioned, there are volunteering opportunities as well. So not just the young people that will be coming and getting things out of this incredible new centre. It sounds really, really exciting. If people want to find out more about some of those vacancies as well, by the way, Alistair, where will they find out information on all that stuff?
Yeah, so for now, look us up on our youthmoves.org.uk website, but obviously we'll be holding jobs fairs and things like that as we get closer to the time. So we'll be hosting things in and around South Bristol and wider Bristol, and there'll be stuff going out on social media. And I think, as you pointed out at the beginning, it's not just a youth work qualification, it's youth and community. And what's really important for me and for the team is that we open something that's a hub for the community, and that everyone has a bit of an ownership, and the networks, the opportunities and the partnerships that are going to come out of this, Adam, are going to be huge. It's not, Youth Moves aren't going to just run and own the building. We're going to be the custodians of this amazing space and bring that through to open it up to the widest community that we can get.
Really exciting for South Bristol. Alistair, thanks very much for joining us this afternoon here on BBC Radio Bristol. CEO of Youth Moves, Alistair Dale, telling us about the new Youth Zone facility that's just received planning permission from Bristol City Council, and it's expected that up to 4,000 young people will sign up to use the facility within the first year of it opening. It's going to be really interesting to track that development, isn't it? And it is huge for the south of the city, that, but I'm sure children, young people from right the way across the city will travel to make the most out of that new facility.